All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fabulous match in our Hollow Knight All Skills tournament. Today we have a match on patch 1221 between Cerpin and Nat3rTater. Both of these runners are very, very experienced across speedrunning. Cerpin started out as a Dark Souls runner, and Nate has run any percent for a really long time now. But both of them have been at the All Skills grind for a little bit, though for Nate it's more like a month or so. But both of them are going to be putting up some really great times today, and I expect to see an excellent match. So joining me on the mic is my lovely co-commentator and my dear friend Virgil.
Everybody, yeah, it's going to be a very exciting match today, and we're definitely excited to see how Cerpin and Nate play out.
And so yeah, we'll be heading towards a countdown in the next few minutes, but important notes is that, yep, this is a match on 1221 as opposed to the current patch, so you're going to be seeing right off the bat some things like inventory drops, and later on you're going to be seeing some lever skips which change our routing a little bit, and we'll point those out as we go. And the other important note is that we run Hollow Knight in simplified Chinese, which just makes the text scroll a lot faster. And so those are the things that you might immediately notice heading into the game. And it looks like Cerpin is off and Nate should be starting soon into King's Pass. And so it looks like the layout hasn't quite switched, but I'm sure that we'll get a volunteer on that really quick. Yes, so heading into King's Pass, that's sort of the tutorial area of our game. It involves a few quick little skips. Oh, hold on one moment.
Yeah, I believe the two runners are just practicing for now. We haven't counted down anything yet, but...
Oh, I am so confused. Nothing like starting the commentary off with a complete false start in the morning. Yeah, good morning, chat. Good morning, everybody who's viewing. The runners are practicing. Yeah, they're... Did you... Yeah, Cerpin's just testing her timer. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Okay. That was a false start. As you can see, I already switched completely into commentary mode. I was like, why hasn't it switched over yet? But now it's good, and Virgil will be counting the runners down real soon. Can take this moment to remind chat that they are very cute.
Yes, indeed.
Now we've got our beautiful layout. Oh yeah, so in terms of fastest times, I see somebody asking about that in the chat. Cerpin has a time in the low 55s. She's got a 55:07, and Nate has got a 52:44, but both of them are extremely skilled runners that have lots of room to improve across various movement sections. They're pretty experienced, so there's no huge like, oh wow, I could save 3 minutes in this one split. But yeah, I would expect to see really, really good races put up from both of them. They are very good at what they do.
Okay, so I believe both runners are ready, so I'm going to count them down now, and the race should start pretty soon.
Yes. And Rhino makes a great point in chat. Obviously, Nate has the faster PV, but in the end, anything can happen in a race setting. This is no reset. Obviously, you can't just say, oh, I want to start over and give it another go. So any death, and this is a run that can be quite deadly in places, could seriously shake things up, and we've seen that happen many times before. And now we head into the game for real.
Oops, did I? Okay. There's, I think, a bit of lag on our end, but...
Yeah, stream delay is only natural in these settings. Best of luck, both runners. And now we'll see that early control dropping into King's Pass. That's a 1221 special, helping us get out without those annoying stops that slow us down, which are the worst possible thing in speedrun.
Yep, and as we can see from Nate's screen, they are up flashing the doors, which allows them to move just that tiny bit faster without the knockback.
Yep, it's all about saving those frames. Like you saw Cerpin just there getting that veg fly pogo. Just want to move through this as quickly as possible and get out because there's a lot of run ahead of you.
Yep. Coming up, both runners will be breaking the door from King's Pass to basically the central area in Hollow Knight called Dirtmouth. And I promised Herm that I'm going to do a knock-knock joke here, so when Nate starts knocking on the door, I'll do it.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Elder.
Oh, Elder who? That was very Hollow Knight. I get it. Heckin' Virgil, what a comedian. What a way to start the run as they both head into Dirtmouth and skip past Elderbug. Elderbug is a cool dude, but unfortunately being fast is cooler in a speedrun, so we can't say hi to him at this moment.
Just one F for Elderbug. We will miss him, but we'll see him a few more times during this run.
Yes. Oh, and there's a nice sort of stall from SpeedGaming. Thank you for syncing them up. And now they'll both head down this inventory drop. It can be a little bit of enemy RNG. Yeah, Cerpin takes a hit. Nate also takes a hit. So they're very even going into this first Aspid arena.
Yep. For this first Aspid arena, there will be one tiny maneuver both runners can do called double spike kill, I believe, which looks like both of them seems to be setting up. Yep, Cerpin got one kill and Nate got both, but that was clean for both runners.
Very nice. It will put Nate just ever so slightly ahead, but as is the case in any VS split, there's a lot of things that can be made up. Oh, and Cerpin also takes an unfortunate hit on those spikes, putting her back to the start of the room, and another hit on Gobes, but like we said, it's all going to be able to be recovered later on in this run.
Yeah, for Cerpin, I believe because that was a cycled room, whenever you slightly mess up the timing, it hurts. You have to wait for the next cycle, but she recovered rather well, I think.
Yes, I would completely agree. And now we'll see the famed head around to False Knight, the first boss of the game that we do not fully fight, as we don't really care about his money or his city crest. We just sort of want to get our spell and get out of there. And so it looks like Nate will be a few seconds ahead going into that, but it'll be pretty quick through there. And yes, Ketchum, they do have to get all skills, so all movement, all nail arts, and all fully upgraded spells before they can beat the game.
And Nate is heading into False Knight, which honestly, I think the hits is you just have to slap him 13 times and then 8 times on the head, and then we head to the left side of the screen where there will be a breakable wall and the runners can just escape.
Yep, and that's, oh, Cerpin on one mask. That's a dev-intended escape. I remember my first time, I could not find it, so I ended up beating False Knight normally, but these runners definitely know where it is and can head out into Ancestral Mound, which is where we'll see that VS split conclude and get to figure out life with our first spell.
Yeah, for Chad, Ismas is required in the all-skill run, so I'm assuming that it makes it a skill. And
yes, it is a skill.
We'll see a charm later on called Shaman Stone, but that is the only charm these runners are going to be using in the run.
Yeah, and that looks like a 345-ish ball for Nate and more like a sort of 353 for Cerp. But yeah, some runners will joke that Isma's is a useless charm based on how much they enjoy doing acid skips, but Isma's is a skill. It has rights in this category, and we will be seeing it. But right now, we're going to be heading through Ancestral Mound and using that fireball we just got to kill a boulder, which is a little bit of RNG.
Yeah, hopefully both runners get equal splits or equal spits. looks like Nate got a 1 spit. We'll see how Cerpin compares.
Yes. There are high records for most spits before you get a Balder, but it looks like both of them are getting first spit, so that's very nice. And they can head out into Green Path.
And I guess speaking of using this spell, this is just something I did not know when I was just doing a casual playthrough, which is speedrunners usually use a button called Quick Cast instead of using Focus to cast their fireballs, because it makes it slightly easier, and it's going to help them execute some of the skips that we call fireball skips that are coming up.
Yes, so first of all, little 1-2-2-1 thing, you'll notice Nate is able to step out of the boulder's range and kill it in one hit, and then he'll go for this fireball skip. So as Virgil was saying, you can use the fireball as an air stall that will sort of push you back a little bit, just enough so that when you turn around, you're able to travel more distance than a regular jump. And so we sort of use it as a pseudo dash a few times here in Green Path. We'll see 3 of those skips, and hopefully the runners will be able to nail all of them. But that also means that our soul collection here in Green Path is routed very tightly.
Nail all of them for souls? I'm sorry, I'm done with the puns.
Oh, that's excellent.
But yeah, Nate is coming up to the biggest fireball skip in this run, which is chasing after Hornet. And this is going to allow runners to skip a big walk around section, and really useful.
Yes. And so, yeah, somebody in the chat pointing out Nate's early game is crazy. Most certainly, Nate is a veteran any percent runner, and so he has these skips in Green Path down to a science. As you can see, flawlessly executing all 3 of those fireball skips, and Cerpin here will be coming up on her 3rd soon. Hopefully she'll get through them as well, but both runners doing a really great job so far.
Yep, and Nate is entering the next room, which has a mini boss called Moss Knight. We'll be, I think, fighting 3 of these guys in the run in total, and looks like Nate got a double hit on his fireball, so that's allowing him to save 1 soul meter, which will make the soul collection game a little bit easier in this room.
Yes, soul is routed very tightly because those Moss Knights, they need 3 fireballs and a nail hit to kill, so you've got to go in with 8 soul or more so you can get 1 hit on and then just sort of rip those fireballs, as we'll see Cerp do in short order. But yeah, so he'll kill a few more of these famed all skills Moss Knights for the Geo that we'll be needing later in the run. Taking a few hits there.
So yeah, after collecting the Geo from those Moss Knights who for some reasons are hoarding a lot of money, Nate and Cerpin will be heading into our Hornet fight. Best girl in the game.
Best girl, absolute Garama moment. Garama, as they say.
Where is that? And also...
on 1 mask.
Ooh. Sorry. Hornet has a interesting moveset, definitely, and the runners are just trying to ping her basically to 1 wall so that they can continuously nail fireball until she decides to leave, and yeah.
And then we get Mothwing Cloak, which is our dash, and we'll see Cerpin fighting Hornet, who I believe, according to your knowledge of Chinese, Virgil, is secretly a transformer.
Okay, yeah, about that one. So when we see Hornet's name pop up in Chinese, it says 大黄蜂, and that is the direct translation for Chinese for bumblebees, and what Chinese, or like people in Chinese call bumblebee transformer. So yes, technically Hornet is a transformer, confirmed.
Incredible. And so we'll see after Cerpin vanquishes this transformer, about an 8:30-ish cloak, And both runners will save and quit back to Ancestral Mound, and they will start dashing along into the fungal wastes where we're going to get our wall jump, which is called Mantis Claw.
Yeah, and as the runners drop down into fungal waste, there are a lot of exciting skips coming up, such as the famous or infamous E-Pogo.
Yes, Explosion Pogo is, I mean, you see runners name their splits learning E-Pogo, relearning E-Pogo, all sorts of things. Basically, what we're trying to do here is these explodey plants, which were, for me, the bane of my existence on my first playthrough due to their 2 mask damage. We're going to take, and Nate is talking to Cloth, or just letting her show up. Hello, Cloth.
This man.
Mad respect. Not sure why he wouldn't converse with Cloth, but it's good to see her face, and even in a speedrun setting. Yes, we were baited out of the Cloth content. You hate to see it.
Indeed.
But yes, we will see pogoing off of this spore as it explodes, and we'll be able to skip going around a lot of this sort of Mantis Village entry segment. So let's hope that both, and that worked quite well through the damage tank for Nate.
Wow, I have not seen that setup before, but that's really cool.
Yes.
And
so now, no, talk about it.
Okay, cool. This is what we call the Mantis Skip that Nate just performed, which basically you have to set up the 2 baby mantises into basically a staircase formation and pogo off of them instead of going around, which saves about 10 to 15 seconds depending on how fast the runners can dash.
Yes. So, yeah, super stylish E-Pogo from both runners, and we'll see Cerpin take a go at that Mantis Pogo. Those Mantises can be a little finicky, but yeah, for Cerpin that's tough. She's only got 1 left, and looks like she'll. Ooh, that was a good save. That was some smart play right there from her, and she'll get her Mantis Claw as well. So really nice adjusting from Cerpin as she heads around and gets her wall jump as well. And Nate will head back into Crossroads towards the shops.
Yep, as we move through the Crossroads, basically retracing the steps somewhat. When we were heading to False Night, Nate will be heading to get a Shaman Stone from Salubra, and that's, like I mentioned before, the only charm that the runners will be using this game, and it will basically make your spells super OP against some bosses, and really helpful in a speedrun setting.
Yes, so brief question from chat. This sort of run, both of these runners have personal bests under an hour, so even in a race setting, it'll probably be around the hour mark. And then on the screen, on Nate's screen, you can see him absolutely vanquishing the Gruz Mother, who is an Octomom that guards our way to the Shaman Stone we seek to obtain. And now he'll have to clean up her 8 children. He does a pretty good job of it, too. A few left in there.
Swift cleanups.
I had a fun experience where Weaver Song, the spider minion charm, passively killed the Gruz Mother, and her children floated out of the arena. But right now we'll just see Nate pick up his Shaman Stone. And Cerpin, very nice pogoing right there. That was really cool from her.
Yep, but yeah, passive kills are definitely interesting. Just going off of what Herm said, I believe the Crystal Guardian? Yeah, the Crystal Guardian is also one where you can basically sit or stand right next to them with the Defender crest on and kill them without them ever responding or attacking.
And so what you just saw there from Nate is the Shade Skip. You know, you may see these runners and believe, I can't believe that somebody so experienced would take 5 masks of damage to a husk, but it's all part of the game, and we use that Shade Skip to get quicker access to the right side of the map. As you'll see Cerpin intentionally dying right there. and we'll be able to head straight over to the right side of City of Tears, which is an area we're going to be frequenting very much in this first half of the run.
Yep, and as someone in the chat mentioned, that was a very fun splash time, and Nate was able to really precisely hit the tiniest hop and then dash at the same time to dash across the entire blue lake.
Yes, that dash blue lake. Unlike the pain of low percent blue lake when there's no dash, we can see Cerpin smoothly gliding across the water. And I'm seeing those Steel Soul copy pastas. I do remember on my first Steel Soul playthrough, I thought to myself, oh, it's fine, I'll just shade skip. And then I realized I couldn't. So,
oh no, Herm.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, I didn't die, so it's fine. But
okay, that's
the
good.
thoughts went through my mind. And here's Nate going to King Station, which is gonna be a very important stag station that we will buy, but not just yet, because we have to go kill a very rich man named the Gorgeous Husk that drops an especially dank number of geo.
Which is also surprisingly my birthday. You know,
your birthday is
my birthday. No, it's not. Yes, my birthday is April 20th. People, I am a girl of culture. You are welcome.
Wow, very dank.
Yeah, and Chad is, I think, dying in a speed run. I don't know. Well, Chad, you know, sometimes it's strategic death, but I can definitely relate to that.
Yes.
Dying in an attempt of a speed run. So I believe Nate has already gotten the Gorgeous Husk, and after getting that lovely 420 geo, we will head to // first.
Yes. And it looks like he's got 719, so we will have to be farming some geo from hoppers, which are some enemies in the Kingdom's Edge that will get him up to the 800 he needs to be completely scammed by Nailmaster Oro, as Cerpin goes through that very tight damage rotation on the Husk, taking a few hits here and there, but she will get all of her geo as well. And it looks like she'll be in pretty good shape heading into Kingdom's Edge.
Yep. As I was kind of mentioning before, // is the only nail art that needs to be purchased and is truly a formidable opponent for my tongue because I can never say it right.
Yeah, I mean, saying // 5 times fast is no joke, and that's got to be up there in the list of big English tongue twisters.
Yep.
And then
Cerpin got hit by the Bellfly once, which unfortunately that does do 2 damage, but I think that might slow her down a little bit to avoid damage, but I think she'll be fine.
Yeah, this corridor heading into Kingdom's Edge can be really tough due to the fact that an enemy some consider to be the worst in the game, to me, probably second behind Mantis Petra, Primal Aspids lurk around here and provide lots of trouble, as we just see with Cerpin taking a hit. But in the end, her movement's looking quite clean, and she'll get through all of it and head to her nail art as Nate picks up his. Ooh, 1 mask there.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good
Very good save right there. And so now Nate will be heading over up through the Watcher Spire. We're not going to fight the Watcher Knights just yet. He will be heading to the Soul Sanctum, where he'll first pick up, using that // to do a bunch of lever skips. This is the main joy of patch 1221, is that we can lever skip all sorts of places around City, and he'll be able to pick up Shade Soul, which is the upgraded Vengeful Spirit, very quickly, allowing him to do massive damage against some of these bosses.
Yep, and as we kind of saw Nate enter there, that was a dark room because you weren't intended to walk that way. That will not be the only dark room we're seeing in the future, and there are some dark rooms that are even harder to navigate.
Yes, that dark room is sort of the result of lever skips having not loaded in rooms, but we will see two sort of true dark rooms, one of which is going to be coming up relatively soon in Crystal Peaks, and another one will be in Deep Nest. And those are because we don't fork over 1800 Geo for the Lumafly Lantern in this category. Instead, we use our beautiful speedrunning brains and muscle memories to navigate through rooms without that lantern, where you can only see the character. But for now, we're going to see Nate heading up to get Shade Soul.
Yep, as we can see, like Herm has mentioned before, Nate was charging a nail art and hitting the levers through the door.
Yes, and the scream of the snail shaman lets us know that Nate is getting a bit of the void into his beautiful vengeful spirit for extra venge and extra spirit.
The spirit.
And now he will head into Soul Sanctum, which is a place that we really enjoy that dash slash, because holy cow, there's some rooms that we just want to avoid like no other. And we'll be able to skip a lot of things, but one thing that we do go ahead and say hi to is this Soul Warrior right here, who gives us a bunch of money, and we can kill him pretty fast with those Shade Souls and double hits that we're looking for.
Yep, very powerful, and at this point, the runners are heading to get their next ability, which is the Desolate Dive from our lovely Soul Master, who, spoiler, fakes his own death just to bait you into heading into a basement, I guess.
Yeah. Sherry, Virgil, were you faked out by that on your first go-around?
Yeah, definitely. I was sus of it slightly, but I got scared a lot. And as we can see on Nate's screen, he is standing on the left side of the screen on that kind of second spire in the background to bait the Soul Master into spawning on the right. And when he was heading in, he did not take the 3 soul gauges because he decided to Shade Soul once to the right and get even more soul from the soul containers, so that he basically gets around great. 5 fireballs instead of 3 going in.
Yes, and that was a super clean fight from Nate, and he will head into that second phase very quickly thanks to his good work. And yeah, that is a great strategy we're able to employ in Soul Sanctum, getting us all the soul we need, because Soul Master is not a boss you're supposed to fight with Shade Soul in hand. To get Shade Soul normally, you need to go save Sly, pay a bunch of money for a key that is locked behind another key, and go fight a little mini boss to get everywhere. But instead, we sort of just head on over, beat him up, and grab our Desolate Dive, which we'll be seeing Cerpin do as well right now.
Yep, and Desolate Dive, this version, or the regular non-shade infused version, is not that powerful currently, but as we see later, we will get an upgrade, and it will be very useful for both runners to get rid of some pretty tough bosses on casual playthroughs.
Yes, and so we'll head through a little bit of Soul Sanctum, and then we're going to end up heading out. Cerpin will go into the second part of this fight as well. Very, very clean work. Yeah, she has displayed in both rounds of the tournament an extremely clean Soul Master fight, so that's certainly a strength of hers. But yeah, for now, Dive is kind of a movement item. It's very useful. It will get us into Crystal Peaks. You can use Dive or Lantern, and we'll use the former. And it's going to help us get around, and then eventually it's going to help us kill things on the ground, much like our lovely All Skills Water Knight fights.
Yeah.
For Cerpin.
And up next, both runners will be heading back to King Station, and this is another place where they need to gather a little bit of Geo for up to around 300 to purchase a stag. And which is the fast travel in this game and allows them to stack back or run back to their mouth.
Yes, and Cerpin's looking a bit better on Geo at this point than Nate is, so Nate's going to have to kill a few more enemies than her, but it's no big deal. He's going to be taking that bench at Watcher's Spire, which will come in handy a whole bunch later. But for now, yeah, they're going to be looking for this Geo. As in any Hollow Knight category, Geo routing is quite tight. You need to see certain numbers. Oh, an unfortunate hit on the elevator for Cerpin. But she'll be just fine heading out. But yeah, 300 is the lucky number here.
And I guess since Nate has already taken the bench and the Cerpin is about to take the bench, we can kind of talk about this next part of the run, which is a bit challenging for especially beginners, which neither of the runners are, but for this part, it's going to be a while until both runners can get another bench. And there's a lot of challenging platforming sections coming up.
Yes, this Crystal Peaks is a section that requires health to be routed very carefully, because at the very end of this whole trip through Peaks, we're going to want to use this sort of trick called early control that will allow us to save a lot of time when we get our upgraded Desolate Dive, Descending Dark. And in order to do that, we need to save some health for a damage tank, as we're going to slide into some spikes. So what that means is that really you don't have much of a bench at all, and you've got to manage your health super duper carefully as you go through these very tight, very cycle-based platforming sections. But hopefully both of these runners can handle it well, because if there's one really bad place to die, it is probably Peaks.
Yeah, Peaks is one of those areas where it takes a long time to run to and is a lot harder to do with a broken soul vessel.
Yes. But right now we're going to say hi to some a friend, to others an enemy. It is Mila. She's uninfected right now, and hopefully she will remain undisturbed by my philosophy for the rest of the run. Though we have seen some Mila kills. Hugging Mila, bowing to Mila is something that, you know, people like to play around with. And yeah, Surf taking some unfortunate hits, but getting to King Station just fine, and we'll be ready to head into this next segment of the run.
Yep, and as Nate is moving into Crystal Peaks, let's see if we are going to get a Pogo X. Ooh. Unfortunately, he misses, but Pog X is basically as what you were seeing Nate was trying to set up there. On the right side, there is one minor husk, and the runners can bait the minor husk into throwing an axe, and sometimes successfully pogoing off of that axe in order to get to higher grounds. And that is what us commentators try to say when we say what the Pog X is. I've heard somewhere that people think it is a tribute to Axe to You, but I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah, that is
I think that was
false information, I believe. But some do like to attribute it to one of this category's best runners, as a little bit of a fun joke. But in the end, Pogax is something it's a swag strat. Looks cool if you pull it off, but at the end of the day, it's not saving you too much time. It's not costing you too much either way. And so now we're going to see Nate platform through to Crystal Heart, which is our next movement ability, sort of a super dash. And you'll see him charging that dash slash as an air stall and heading up. This is very much on a cycle, and we'll see if he goes for a damage tank here. Yeah, it does not look like it. That's pretty wise on 2 masks. Maybe some underplat as well.
Ooh, there's the underplat. Nice.
Very good.
I guess also, as we've kind of mentioned before, using an extra HP to gain early movement. 2 mask is the minimum that these runners need to be at this current time. Oh, and on Cerpin's screen, we just saw a usage of the God Pixel.
Yes, very nice.
late mentioned, but basically there is one frame where you can perfectly position yourself where it looks like you were in the lasers, but you don't take damage. And that was a really nice usage and demonstration of that.
Yeah, super, super clean peaks from Cerp so far. I am certainly impressed, and I'll be happy to see what I hope to be an underplat from her as well. As Nate goes through some crushers, this is my least favorite room in peaks, if not pretty much all of the game, but did he not? He did not save the all skills grub. That wastes no time to save that grub, and that is frankly a disturbing offense. And here's Cerp's peaks movement.
This
Very
man
nice
is, I think, bamboozling us out of every single interaction in the game. He stopped but didn't talk to Cloth, and he is not saving the grub. So, man, shaking my head behind the screen.
There's Cerp's underplat. At least we can celebrate something. And Nate, hopping out of that darkroom on 1 mask, that is a tough darkroom to start and not finish because that Crystal Hunter can really mess you up. Those projectiles stay on the ground. Ooh, and another hit. This is not looking too good for Nate as Cerp continues to head out very cleanly on 2 masks with that Crystal Dash. And Nate has to be very careful here because getting soul from a Crystal Hunter is probably not your optimal source.
Yeah, Crystal Hunters can be scary, especially when they gang up on you. Those things just start accumulating in the ground.
Yeah, they're in the holy trinity of awful enemies with Aspids and Mantis Petra. Cerp taking a hit on those crushers, but thankfully it's not too long with segments, so she can just head on through and hopefully save this grub.
Yes!
There's the dark room for Nate. God bless.
And Cerp did free the grub, so gotta respect that.
Yes, very good looks from her. As Nate heads into Crystallized Mound, which is the home of our Descending Dark. The upgraded dive.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Nice save.
Playing with our hearts. That was an impressive save from Nate.
I hope he just slightly remembers to not set up the thing. Yeah, it looks like he is.
But no early control from him. No, he will lose some time on that, but at least he's alive. Better a small time loss than a death.
Yeah.
Cerp
is pretty much catching up to Nate at this point, and the 2 runners are getting closer and closer together. I think, we'll be able to see a early control setup from Cerp here, where she goes for the dash slash and super slides her way into the spikes below.
Yes, so Cerpin demonstrating excellent execution of that trick. Nate wisely not attempting it, but in the end, it's no big deal. He is on safe ground for now, heading into the Dream Nail cutscene. As Cerpin will as well. I do think that their timers are a bit off, so they are not as close as they may appear to be on screen, but still Cerpin has caught up a whole bunch here by having a very clean Crystal Peak split.
Yeah, definitely. And for Dream Nail, obtaining Dream Nail is just a difficult platforming sections that the runners will have to perform, but thankfully we are on all skills, which means a big part of this platforming section can be Crystal dashed through.
Yes, and we'll see another miniature underplat, not the underplat you may all know and love, but these runners will certainly hop under a plat, and that is something that we should all be happy to see, you know? There we go. Very nice from Nate.
Applause for the underplats. Definitely very pog.
And there's the Dream Nail. The Seer says hi to you. Thank you for hopping through my little walking simulator. And an unfortunate fall from Cerpin. Won't cost her too much. And yes, we'll wake up in the resting grounds and then say, no, I'm going back to bed and quit out.
Immediately saying bye to the Seer because we gotta go back to our original bench at Watcherspire. So that was the very risky and difficult section where there is no bench done. Congrats to both runners. They both made it out alive. Oh,
and thank you, Rhino. And I see Gout Diablo pointing out in the chat that Cerp was 110 behind going into King Station, so she's made up about half of that. So that was a really, really impressive split from her right there. Just super demonstrating as well how, I think that sometimes you can forget just how having clean movement and just playing each room as well as you can really save a bunch of time and can really help you in a race setting. And now we'll see Nate fighting the Watcher Knights, which are definitely as not as scary as they are in other categories.
Yep, on our 1221 patch, essentially Descending Dark or D-Dark grants you enough invincibility frames that you can just go Pogo, D-Dark, Pogo, D-Dark, rinse and repeat. As long as the Watcher Knights decide to play nice and not roll away from your attacks.
Yep, and as you just saw Cerp do, cutting down that chandelier allows you to only fight 5 of them as opposed to 6, which is really nice. And we can dream nail them before the fight for souls. So everything about this sort of sets us up to have a fight that is really not as bad as the any percent Watcher Knights where you've got your bare fists and a fireball, or the low percent Watcher Knights where you've got that and no dash on top of it. So really for these runners, it's not too scary of a deal. We'll just head up to the spire, say hi to Lurian, who as a concept has always been a little bit creepy to me, but go him and sort of delete him from existence.
Wait, would you mind to explain why Lurian's concept is scary?
Well, he's the Watcher, and he's like, sort of just like, hey guys, I'm the Watcher. Like, Monomon's like, I'm a renowned scientist, and Hare's like, I'm the leader of an incredible, Cerpin finishing the fight on one mask. I'm the leader of an incredible people. And Lurian's like, yeah, I just watch everybody. So, he's doing his thing, but
fair enough.
I think still least favorite dreamer for me.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Cerpin, even on one mask, able to head on up, and then you'll see Nate heading down the same way. Unfortunately, we can't save and quit out as the dreamers are all hard saves. So we have to walk all the way down from Watcher's Spire. Nate grabbing that Geo. Very, very good. 655 Geo will keep us pretty sated for most of the run.
Yep, and now that we are done with the first dreamer, the next location these runners will be heading to will be grabbing Isma's Tier. And there are lots of, 3 exciting skips coming up just related to the Isma's Tiers. And one of the ones which I personally think is terrifying when I first saw the concept is the spike tunnels.
Yes, these skips are no joke. They are things that probably the one of the hardest splits for most running this category are these 3 skips, because as you just saw Nate attempt, they've got to go through this spike tunnel without getting hit. And then after that, very, very clean on the 3rd attempt. After that, you've got to do acid skips, because we don't want to go through the hassle of heading up to storerooms or buying a simple key and then fighting Dung Defender. We're speedrunners. We don't have time for any of that. So we just crystal dash across the acid, and while Nate makes it look easy, it is very precise. And so, takes a dunk there. We crystal dash, and then we're able to get Isma's Tier and head out of it the normal way, since, once we have it, the acid is no issue for us.
Yep, and it looks like Nate might be going for a damage and early control setup here again, where the enemy can just bop you on the head and makes you move faster.
Yep, those worms will just say hello to you right away, and then, first try in the spike tunnel from Cerpin, really, really clean. Her movement today has been top-notch.
Yeah, definitely.
And yes, Nate's able to get that early control, and now is going to head into the Ancient Basin as Cerp. Yeah, unfortunate dunk on the second acid skip, but really good overall. Just looked like a missed input on a dash there.
Yep, and as Nate is dashing through the Ancient Basin area, that was really lucky that all 3 of the enemies were kind enough to get out of his way, which sometimes, if RNG is not favoring you, you can simultaneously smack into all 3 enemies.
Oh, one mask for Cerpin. So I don't think she's gonna be.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness gracious, that was some. Wow, way to go, Cerpin. She is holding down the fort for herself in a very scary situation. That was some excellent adjustment right there. But yes, as Virgil said, Nate was able to get nice enemy RNG, and now is going to head over to big enemy RNG area, which is the Malark sort of dash area. We'll see if he gets hit. This is going to be some crystal dashes through a very cycled room, which is often painful for some speedrunners.
Yes, definitely. The Malarks can decide to play it nice sometimes, but then sometimes... Oh, it looks like Nate is going for the damage tanking strategy there. So for the area where Nate took damage, runners can choose to either, I think, save like a couple of frames to damage tank, or they can try to do a descending dark there and waste a bit of soul, essentially.
Yeah, so that was a really nice trip through the Malark room for Nate as he heads up into this fight, and we'll see how it goes for Cerp as she gets to that toll bench. But now we're going to be fighting the Broken Vessel, who, upon defeating them, they will give us access to the Monarch Wings. But once again, I mean, Broken Vessel has 525 health, and with our Shade Soul and double hits that can deal 80 a pop, we are not going to be having too much time spent with this lovely sibling of ours.
Yeah. Cerpin is heading down to the Malark room. May the RNG gods favor her.
Yes, she looks like going for things as well, as Nate heads into Monarch Wings, leaving his now deceased sibling behind. Yeah, really good fight from Nate, as somebody points out. That was super clean, and it looks like Cerp's going to need to be taking a moment to heal, which is fine right here because that Malark will give her, basically, it's like a big soul totem if you stand under the corner and get your healing that you need.
Really good movement from Cerpin. She is on fire today with the skip, where basically there is a tiny ledge you can grab onto on the right side, and it saves a couple of seconds. So she's catching up to Nate with all those smooth movements.
Yeah, Nate did not get that, so that's a bit of catch-up for her as she heads into this Broken Vessel fight. We'll see how it goes, but she looks like Broken Vessel's already attending the rock concert and doing some headbanging. And on one mask, she'll have to D-Dark through that, hopefully. Oh no. Oh, that may have been a little commentator's curse for me. Unfortunate. Oh, she'll go and give it another go.
I believe Cerpin didn't unlock the shortcut, so that's going to be another run through the Malark room.
It's very uncommon to do so, just because of how much time it takes to go over and slash that door. But, truly unfortunate for Cerpin, especially with what a good run she's been having so far. But knowing her, she'll just keep doing this as cleanly as possible and stay on the grind. That's all you can do.
Yeah, definitely.
Nate will be heading into the Kingdom's Edge. And he is going to go say hi to an old friend of ours, a secret transformer, apparently. Hornet, once more. This time, she's a lot more prepared and a lot more ready to get angry at our spells.
And a lot more shaws, depending on the playstyle.
Yes. Knowing the statistics sheet, Virgil and I have discussed, and we think that perhaps a Shaw counter for each runner could be implemented, just to see how much Shaw we get in a given go. But it looks like Nate will be safety benching at Hornet 2, which, with the lead he has right now, is a move I really like from him. Frankly, the death to Hornet 2 is a painful one, considering you've benched all the way back at King Station, and it's a lot better to have that bench be very close than to have to do a huge, long walk back.
Yep, and on Cerpin's side, she really smoothly defeated the broken vessel and just got her wings.
Higale indeed, Hornet. And so yes, the thing we have to watch out for here in this Hornet fight is that she now has the parry, which is a move that is despised in this fight and also against the Hollow Knight, in that Hornet, with her magical half higher being, half descendant of the beast, can parry our spells, which is a huge waste of soul and generally a big annoyance to runners. It just stops things up, and hopefully Nate won't be getting too many of those, but things are looking good so far.
Hornet seems to know that she is on stream today, so she is playing nice.
Yeah, Hornet's giving a good show for the audience, and Nate will be able to head on over to the cast-off shell, which lets us pick up the King's brand. Cerpin with some acrobatics right there, very nice. 4 shaws on Nate's side, very admirable.
Yep, appreciates the shaws. And I really just love this cutscene where as our little character, our ghost, is exiting the cast-off shell, Hornet is being a pal and, saving us. Definitely appreciated, Hornet.
Yes, and I see the Hornet is void discussions. Frankly, I do not believe Hornet is void. The Pale King is not void, so I don't really see where the void is coming from. But this is, right now, in the speedrunning setting, whether she's void or not, she will be vanquished as Cerpin heads over to that fight, and it looks like she's trucking along. Yeah, she did take an unfortunate hit, but continuing to go through, and will climb up and into her own Hornet 2 fight as Nate goes back towards City.
Ooh, and Nate took a unfortunate hit from the Bellflies again. Cerpin, as we can see, is also grabbing the safety bench, and she put off a really nice Shade Soul, which, if you're really close to breakable walls on the ceilings, can potentially break the walls and save you a little bit of time.
Yes. And Cerpin, unfortunately, getting impaled by that spike right there, but she's going to be heading down, and now Nate is going to go up to the Howling Cliffs, which is one of those areas in a casual playthrough you're like, I guess there is an area here. But for now, we know exactly where it is. And we're going to be picking up our Cyclone Slash, which is mostly going to be used as a form of faster inventory drop.
Yeah, and potentially Cyclone Slash, which I'm hoping for, is our lovely, it can turn you into a helicopter in some cases.
Yes, we will pray for Helicopter Night. It's a glitch you can use some nail art storage heading into the black egg opening up at the end of the run. So we'll hope to see that from at least one runner. But for now, it looks like Cerpin is putting up a very nice showing against Hornet 2. She's got all her barbs out, so she should be over and through with. And there we go. And Nate will say hi to Mato. Maybe we'll see a bow here. I'm hopeful.
Maybe. The Cyclone Slash is... Actually, I don't know. For my casual playthrough, I got Cyclone Slash really early in the game, and I went to the Howling Cliffs really early. But unfortunately, no battles from Nate.
Unfortunate. Those Nail Masters deserve your respect. They really do.
Indeed. Also, audience-wise, I believe, I'm speaking for myself, I will be a lot more entertained when there is a battle. So maybe that's just frame versus fame.
Yes. There you go. In the end, do it for the chat. We're cute. We're in chat. Everybody in chat is always cute. So those Nail Masters are doing their best. But in the end, Nate will give Mato none of his respect and head over into Fog Canyon through our now infected crossroads. And this will be a very fun little trip with a jellyfish we like to call Umu.
Yep. Fog Canyon has a lot of jellies, and Umu is definitely one of the scarier ones, but those big jellies are also really scary when you accidentally give them a high five that's a little bit too harsh.
Yep. Take my advice from a casual playthrough. They are not a good source of geo. I really thought they were at the beginning. Probably one of the worst possible sources of geo out there, but these runners are not fooled, and they will head straight for the big boss. And they're going to go fight Umu. Umu can be a little mean sometimes. Thankfully, on patch 1221 has slightly less HP, and so we will hopefully see Nate head for a one cycle here, getting enough soul to push Umu into the wall and kill it before it can really get any sort of momentum. But we may also get an extra attack from Umu, which can be a slow little annoyance as well.
Yeah, and really all depends on our buddy Coral and whether or not he comes through. Seems like Coral will decide to, kassa and help us here.
Yeah, that's a very convenient kassa from Coral. And I think, that's a smooth one cycle from Nate. Really nice right there.
Yep, definitely. And now that we have defeated Umu, who is the guardian of Monomon, we will be heading in and collecting for ourselves the second dreamer. Which, speaking of collecting, a bit off topic, but for like randomizer runs, I just love it when you pick up an item and it says like Monomon collected.
Yeah, collected the Monomon. For me, as a new rando player, it is a big pain because I want nothing less than to be in an infected crossroads with nail 0 and no spells. But in here we get to collect the Monomon without any sort of pickup, sort of just the destruction cutscene, and she's gone. Science is dead. Unfortunate. And Cerpin will head over into her own wonderful edition of Fog Canyon, which lovely little tidbit of fact there as well. In the poorly translated mod, it is called Try to Enjoy It. And I think that sort of sums up most players' experiences in Fog Canyon.
Yeah, definitely. On casual playthroughs, I think Fog Canyon is only accessible if you have either Isma's Tear or Shade Cloak, or like big parts of it. At least for me, I didn't figure out how to like get through the. Oh, looks like Cerpin.
Oh, an unfortunate hit. Yikes! Oh, that was. Thankfully, did not get hit that second time. But yeah, Fog Canyon, it's accessible through pretty much Isma's Tear or Shade Cloak, the main part. But you do get that nice little part that we'll be seeing soon. On Nader's screen, which is heading up from the Queen Station area or outside of Teacher's Archives. And we're going to be going, and we're going to go say hi to our third and final Nail Master, Shio, who will give us Great Slash.
Yep, and Rhino in the chat, I definitely feel you. Cornifer has a lovely humming, and I just wanted to meet him in Fog Canyon, and I really couldn't, and that was a downer in my casual playthrough.
Yes, Cornifer Fog Canyon, possibly the most frustrating Cornifer. I too spent so much time because Cornifer in Fog Canyon requires wings, and so I kept being like, wow, I really need all these things, like I should be able to get up here, but you just can't, and it's real unfortunate. But thankfully, we just stopped through Fog Canyon. We don't need a map. We know where we're going. And Cerpin will be going for Umu one cycle here as well, it seems. Looks like she got it.
She got it. Wait. Oh.
Oh? Oh, unfortunate.
Umu in oh, okay. The boss is back.
All right.
At least
they're back. Now Nate is heading through that green path platforming section to Shio. This too was a frustrating piece of the game for me. But now, I mean, over in the randomizer community, you have people like Conra who have mapped it out without Claw. And these speedrunners, they know their cycles. They know, oh, well, they sometimes hit the thorns, but they've got it together. And there's our third nail art from Nate that we'll be seeing shortly. And Cerpin gets over to Monomon.
Yeah, the speedrunning community, just gotta respect the Hollow Knight community in general. It's such a nice community, and there's so many good players in there, but they're also very willing to help other new players if they try. So just shout out to the entire community in general.
Yeah, and I mean, first of all, absolute swag from Serp on that Cyclone slash to Monomon, and Nate will warp back to Teacher's Archives. But yeah, little plug to the Hollow Knight Discord and the Hollow Knight community in general. Very, very supportive folks who have allowed people like Virgil and I to get involved. And if you ever want to try commentary, give us a ping. We would love to talk to you about it. This has been a great experience for us both. But yeah, for now, we'll see Nate heading over to Howling Wraiths, which is a spell that we get pretty late in the run just because it's a bit out of the way and it's closer to Umu and that sort of thing than anything else. But this is sort of our up spell. It sends Wraith into the air. In its unupgraded form, it's not much to sing about, but when we go to the Abyss and we get a new version of it, it is going to be some spicy stuff.
Yep. Pretty easy arena coming up for Nate, where we see him crystal dashing into those two mosquitoes to get rid of them before the fight starts. And most of the enemies here do die in one Shade Soul. And as we can see, Nate is making pretty good work of them and getting the Wraith right now.
Yes, that arena is always for me like a little coliseum of confusion. Why are there like 10 squits in an arena guarding the Howling Wraiths? We'll never know. It's a lore mystery that even Mossbag might not be able to explain. But what matters is that we can get our spell and then get the heck out of there, because we're not quite done yet. We've got a few more steps on this train, and one of those steps is going to be right now heading into Queen's Gardens, which is one of those areas that is definitely designed for the late game, and you can get through to there with Ismas, but we use a trendy lever skip instead for speed. And we'll be heading through Queen's Gardens, not really going to see any of the main attractions like Trader Lord or the like. We're going to be heading to Deep Nest.
Yeah, I think definitely not on this run, but on a casual playthrough, Queen's Gardens is one of the hardest areas. And I guess going back to something which had given me a lot of trouble was just the flower quest in general. And yeah, that was a whole spiel. Moving on to what we see on Nate's screen, he is heading towards Deep Nest, and in this next room, Nate will be collecting, ideally, full soul, because the dark rooms that are coming up are no joke, and we're gonna need all the soul we can get.
Yes. Those dark rooms in Deep Nest especially are very tough because they have the fun little quirk of whenever you take damage in a dark room, you are transported back to the start of the room. And that also means that any floors that dropped out under you, which are a Deep Nest classic, they're not going to be dropping anymore. So all of the spikes are exposed and you really don't have any second chances. But hopefully we'll see a clean few rooms from Nate. That first one looked very nice. And we'll be heading all the way to Distant Village, where we're going to be visiting our friends at the Beast Den.
Yep, and update on Cerpin's part, she just got the Great Slash, so she will be heading towards Gardens, joining Nate, and getting Howling Wraths as well.
Yes, and bit of a spooky moment for Nate right there, being at one mask. Is at one mask again. Yeah, this is a little bit dicey for him right here, especially in the dark with lots of enemies that sort of spawn into your face and say hello. But hopefully he'll be able to get things together and get healed. There's a Dream Nail. Yeah. Good move by him. Get healed up, and then Cerpin with a really nice use of that new Great Slash against those squits. Taking a few hits here and there, but will overall get through this arena cleanly. Seems.
Yep. Nice pogo.
Oh, nice save. Ooh, unfortunate.
At 1 HP. Nice Descending Dark, utilizing that height and width of the attack.
Yeah, showing just how beautiful that huge D-Dark hitbox can be. And Nate will head up through our lovely little speedrunner shortcut. When you have all movement, you'll see this in a lot of categories that give you full movement, or most of it. You can sort of hop up into Beast Den without dealing with the trapped bench and skipping over half of the area. And he'll kill that Devout and head over to say hi to Hornet's mom.
Yep, and I just realized that if you Dream Nail the Deep Nest enemies, their thoughts say, in order to live and in order to breed. That was I have not Dream Nailed most enemies, and I'm sorry, yeah, for Chad, who is confused, I am a native Chinese speaker, so if I'm just being weird and commentating on some of the Dream Nail dialogue during these speedruns, it's because that's what I see.
I mean, in the end, it's super cool knowledge that we don't get to see in most commentary. I like, hi Hornet's mom, bye Hornet's mom. Yeah, hi Hornet again. We'll probably see more of her later. But Cerpin, I don't think we mentioned this with Nate, but is doing this hazard respawn, ending up on 1 mask, which is very unfortunate. And it looks like she's going to go take a bench to take care of that, because we really don't want to go through that huge platforming section. It's a bit of a pain. And so we sort of just use this broken hazard respawn to end up right by the lever and live our truth. But yeah, Cerp will need to take a bench here. And in the end, it's going to be okay, because as you can see Nate doing right now, we stag out of Distant Village. We don't really want to deal with staying there any longer. Deep Nest is probably not an area we have much fun frequenting. And so, yeah, with that DLC bench, Cerp is able to get to that wrong warp and feel just fine about herself.
Yep, and as Nate just stacked out of Deep Nest, as Herm has mentioned, he is heading to get our one and only lovely Shade Cloak. Dropping to the abyss and climbing out of it is definitely a task, but for these speedrunners, it's they make it look so easy, but in reality, Abyss is one of the places where you don't get a lot of souls, especially during a upcoming lighthouse climb coming up, and the enemies do 2 mask of damage. So scary.
Yeah, siblings are an unfortunate bunch. I remember Quacksilver in a race I commentated with them previously said that the lighthouse climb is very momentum based, and I can't agree more. It's one of those things where if you start your climb and you're getting up there and things are happening in a way where, okay, the siblings aren't on my tail too badly, I'm not taking any damage, then for the most part it's fine. But once you take a hit, it is a lot harder to recover. And so it can be a scary situation. Oh, and it looks like Cerpin was on 1 mask there for a moment as well, but she's got plenty of soul, and that was a very clean lighthouse climb from Nate. So good job to the runners on both screens, adjusting to their situations and getting through pretty tough parts of the run.
Yeah, very hype. Both runners are at pretty scary parts with slight bit of Monka's moments today, but they're both handling it quite well.
Yes, and so now we're going to see Nate hop into the friendly Bowl of Void and then quit out. Unfortunately, we can't quit out to a bench in this case. It is a hard save at Shade Clink, but it does save time to avoid that sort of cutscene where you are shaking in the bowl and it's like, wow, I guess I'm Void now. So there's Cerpin heading up into Beast Den. Very good from her. And Nate's got a Shade Cloak.
Yep, and Cerpin is fighting towards getting Hera, the last dreamer. Nate will be heading to...
On 2 masks. Oh.
No.
Oh,
Looks like
no.
deepness got her once again.
Really unfortunate. Going into that devout on 2 masks is super tough because typically you want to make a damage take there to avoid the 2 mask damage that it does. But I mean, in the end, that DLC bench that Cerp took is gonna do her a nice favor here and allow her to head through a decent portion of QG without having to start from Teacher's Archives. But it is still, yeah, as Chomps points out, a long walk back, including a walk through Dark Deep Nest once more. So unfortunate from Cerp, but in the end, she's gonna get through it. She's done this once and she's done it many times before that, and she'll do it again.
Yeah, and as Cerpin is treading her way through Dark Deep Nest, Nate just got our final ability upgrade, which is Abyss Streak. There we go. My dictionary cut out for a second. And now he will be scooting back to fight THK, which is the final boss. So we're almost there, folks.
Yes, and we'll see this Abyss climb. Another thing that's sort of very momentum-based, the hazard respawn in the Abyss can be downright evil at times, putting you down very close to the bottom, even as you dunk in a spike close to the top. But Nate's climb is looking really clean for the most part, and hopefully he'll get up there without issue. He's very close, yeah. Really nice climb from Nate right there. As Cerp heads back into Deep Nest, and yeah, that was a really nice Dark Deep. Oh no!
No!
Oh god, that was definitely a commentator's curse right there. I am, yikes! Wow.
For people that don't know, Cerp dumping into the waters below means that she has to go through multiple extra dark rooms to get back to where she was, and dark rooms are not fun in Deepness. So
oh no.
Looks
and that's a death. Oh, that is beyond unfortunate for Cerpin, because that also means she did not get to her shade, so she does lose her Geo, which we do need a pretty significant amount of Geo to buy the Distant Village tag. Obviously, this death is as unfortunate as it was. In the end, it's a tough one to avoid. Those are not dark rooms that are typically part of the run, and I mean, in a no reset setting, you're probably just going to be like, well, heckity heck, I'm not going back up. But, you know, in this case, she has to do what she has to do. We're in a race. Oh wow, did we just miss that?
I think Nate did like a Flappy Bird animation, or I'm
Rocket
not sure
Knight,
how.
people are saying.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice. But yeah, props to Cerp for pushing through, definitely.
Yeah. And Nate will head into the Hollow Knight fight. This is a fight where we use that Abyss Shriek we just picked up. It is our highest damage dealing thing in the game. The only higher possible thing would be like a Cyclone Slash with fully upgraded nail, and we don't have time for that. So we're going to be using Shriek, as awkward as it may seem, to get a ton of damage in, because those hits, it totals up to 120 damage, which is a ton. So we wish Nate the best of luck in this fight as Cerpin heads into Deep Nest for what is hopefully the third and final time.
Yeah, and as people pointed out in the chat, Cerp might not get her shade back anymore, which means unless she does some maneuvering, she might have to go through the rest of the speedrun with just 2 like soul gauges and only able to do 2 spells at one time.
Yes.
It's going to be slightly challenging, but we'll see how she pulls it off. And for Nate, I'm wondering, can this be a sub-hour run? Yeah, I think this is sub-hour.
It definitely will be. I mean, at this point, it'll be close to the 55 mark. Overall, a very, very good performance from Nate. Even with a few hiccups here and there, he really pushed through and gave it his best. So this will be very close to a 55. I didn't quite catch the time he started focusing, but it should be low 55 right here. Oh, no, it will be just under. So 54.59 for Nate. And as we can see, yeah, it looks like Cerpin is getting some Geo Rocks. Very, very wise choice from her because of the several hundred Geo she's going to need to get to Distant Village. And yeah, that will be GG's for Nate, but we're going to wait to bring him in here until we have both runners done, and then we'll do our post-race interview. But for now, we can all just turn our attention to Cerpin, who is killing Hera. Really, for all of the stuff she's had to deal with, she has done a really fabulous job of holding down the fort on her end and adjusting to what's been a lot of setbacks. So really impressive work from her there, frankly.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I will just mark Nate as done for now, but we will definitely wait for Cerpin and see how she does this, because she is doing great, despite all the things that the game has thrown at her.
Yes, so she will hop out of East End in a moment once she gets enough Geo, but yeah, she's going to be looking for enough to get that Distant Village stag and going for those nodes. Thankfully, she knows all the right places to get Geo, which is really advantageous for her in this moment.
The damage at Deepness is definitely really scary, and I guess while we are witnessing Cerpin collecting Geo, a thing that scared me on my casual playthrough, I don't know about your experience, Herm, was when you're in Deepness, when you step into the Weaver's Den and spiders just start popping out from the background. And
yeah, I hated that so much. Even the spider monsters were one thing, but the spiders on the ground, Surf wisely taking a bench there, he needs a bit more Geo. The spiders on the ground just as a background effect were just beyond creepy to me. Though I also found Basin and the Abyss to be very creepy in their emptiness. So I guess that this last section of the run Surf is doing is truly a little bit of a creepy percent sort of extension. Yeah, she needs 250 for the stag, and she is almost there. Saves a grub. That is really what we like to see. Massive props right there. And yeah, question from chat. The timer does pause when moving between screen transitions. We use a loadless timer here to sort of give everybody an equal playing field, regardless of how well their computer runs the game. So yeah, Serp's 1 Geo short. That's real unfortunate.
I was wondering, I think if Serp's save and quit out of the game and respawn, some of the enemies do spawn back. But
yeah, I was wondering that as well, though it looks like she's going to go into a separate section and just go kill one more spider here in Dark Deep Nest. Ooh. That's a swaggy way to get 1 Geo, I'll say that much.
Yep.
I mean, I really do have to admire Cerpin here for finding such a quick way to get 250 Geo that she lost. That is not a problem you will pretty much have to see in an all skills run, because in a normal setting, if you've lost all your Geo, you're probably just going to be resetting and calling it a day. But obviously in a race, we don't have that ability, and so Cerpin has been super, super quick thinking in her ability to get to this stag and head back to Dirtmouth.
Yep, and as we can see Cerp do something there, which we didn't get to mention before, was when she purchased the stag, she did direct her character to look down, because some wacky coding in Hollow Knight does allow the toll benches to go down faster and the stack to appear sooner if the character looks down. Just a quick time save.
Yes, I believe it's in the any percent they talk about those scurry look downs, and yeah, it was one of those things that somebody found just sort of having fun doing a run. Wow, hey, this saved several seconds. So that's the beauty of speedrunning. And here we have the Abyss Door. I think next time we commentate together, Virgil, we've got to come up with a knock-knock joke for this one as well.
Yeah.
We'll work on it.
If anyone has any lovely knock-knock jokes, feel free to DM me in Discord.
Oh yeah, me as well. We will compile a list. We will be so ready. But yes, we will see Cerp head over to the lighthouse and just through the sort of abyss circuit that we've seen so far. Hopefully a very clean lighthouse climb from her, as most of her movement has been thus far. Really nice pogos, wow. She's moving. Yes, excellent work from Cerp right there. And there we go. So she will head across the beautiful Void Lake, get her Shade Cloak, and then... Yeah, I think that it's one of those things where the Abyss is just an area where you're like, huh, the whole time. It raises a lot of questions. Like those videos where it's like, how many vessels are in the Abyss? It's one of those areas where when you're speedrunning, the lore implications are not quite presented, but in this case you have a little time to ponder. Wow, this is quite the place.
Yeah, and these siblings, I think an interesting thing is that if you can line up a dream nail, instead of hitting them, you can get rid of them with a dream nail. And I think as either Mossback or a lot of lore experts have talked about, how this has an implication with the ghost's shade as well whenever you die.
Yes. Fun fact, if you ever are like, wow, my shade, I want a fun new way to kill it, use your dream nail. Your dream nail will instantly kill your shade. It's a lot easier with Dream Wielder just because that dream nail charge time, as we've seen throughout the run, it's pretty long. It takes a while to get that sort of thing together, but yeah, dream nail will instantly kill your shade, and I was actually wondering yesterday if it did that on siblings as well, so it's interesting to know.
Yep. That's the last ability for Cerpin. She is almost there with that Abyss Streak.
Yes. And so she will have her beautiful Abyss Streak, which is going to be very helpful in this upcoming section. And then, yeah, she has all the skills. That is the goal of this category above all else. And so, yeah, all skills is a really great category if you're interested in running Hollow Knight, but you're like, those any % Watcher Knights seem like a whole bear. Then this is good. Obviously, as you've seen, there's some tech that is no joke. Those spike tunnels, those dark rooms, they are no joke at all. But if you're scared of the Watcher Knights and you want to speedrun, this is probably your best bet. Oh my gosh, Miley Cyrus, the climb. I would love to see that as an edit. It's just somebody abyss climbing to Miley Cyrus.
Oh, and that would be very awesome indeed. And also, another advantage of all skill run is that you do get to see Hornet twice. So if anyone appreciates Hornet in some ways, highly recommend all skills so you can talk to her about 2 times, and then when you beat Hera, Hornet will also be there to see you.
Right. I mean, think about it. You could wait around for Hornet in Silksong, or you could run Hollow Knight all skills and see Hornet very many times and just get to enjoy the beauty and elegance of her fighting style twice. And then you could be happy. So, and now we'll see Crystal dashing all the way across. Unfortunately, in a regular run, you don't get to see those beautiful custom Knight skins that we saw in our rando tourney, but if you're familiar with modding the game, there are many different skins available, and you can enjoy some interestingly colored crystal dashes for a fun time.
Yeah, and I believe, I forgot who used the skin, but the skin where people got rid of the ghost's eyes genuinely terrified me, especially in the soul game, when you don't get to see the eyes.
Yeah. That's...
But yeah, definitely. Custom skins are very fun.
Yeah, I believe people in the chat are talking about hazard respawn. I believe it has something to do with hitboxes. I know in the Discord there are many sort of images available, and I may end up compiling a PowerPoint of them soon. We'll see. That yeah, you sort of have to like dip into the corner of that hitbox and say hello, and wow, I'm downstairs now. I can avoid the entire platform section. And into the Hollow Knight fight, Cerpin goes. Let's all cheer her on. She's done an incredible job of working what she's got this seed. I'm not on rando. This game. There are no seeds.
The randomness pulling through.
Hollow Knight speedrun seed. Yes.
I mean, it's probably seed 0, so technically still a seed.
It's a legendary rando seed where nothing is randomized. But yes, good luck to Cerp. Hopefully a clean fight for her. Not too many parries. There's the first scream.
Nice use of Shade Cloak to dash through.
Yes, very good. Unfortunately, we don't get one of my favorite charms of the game, Sharp Shadow here, that makes this fight a wonderful bunch of fun. But we do get the third scream from Cerp. Very clean so far. She'll take a moment to heal, and that is an excellent choice right there. So why not? You're almost there. You're shrieking your way through. You're beating up your sibling. I mean, if you think about it, this is really just a job interview, right? You're applying to seal away the infection, and then when you do, that's the acceptance letter. And so Cerpin has gotten the gig. She's done it. Big GG's. And so we'll see her focus in the infection, and then we'll invite both runners in for a little post-race interview.
Yeah.
And chat, feel free to ask questions. If you have things you want to ask them, we will relay them.
So Cerpin's final time is 1:06 and 07. Really amazing considering the some of the difficulties she had to win through, and she really did push through with that one.
Yes, that was truly admirable. And we've marked them both as done, so GG's to both runners, and we'll be inviting them in for a post-race interview. Here's Cerp. And we'll wait and see if Nate's gonna pop in. I think he will. Hey Cerpin, GG.
Great job.
That was a tough set of cards dealt to you.
Nah, I played shit from the start, to be honest. And then RNG didn't want to help either, so. Oof.
No, that was truly difficult, but I mean, we will say we were very impressed by both your movement and also your ability to be pragmatic and know all of those geo-rock locations and scrounge things together even when they were so tough.
Thanks. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know half of them.
Yeah, you just found them on the way?
I just happened upon, like, multiple of them. Usually when I'm short geo, there is an 90% that it's like short 50 geo, not 250.
Wow, I'm impressed. That looked professional to me, like you just knew where it was.
Definitely, yeah, I second Herm. I think you did really well, and really, it was a great reaction thinking on your feet. And also, Nate has just joined us, so hi Nate.
Hi.
Great job on your run as well.
And also on the cloth thing, my computer tabbed me out, and I thought my game crashed.
Oh no! So
Yeah,
were you intending to talk to her, or
no,
you just?
No, my computer tabbed my game out for some reason right at that spot.
Oh, that's really tough.
It was fine.
Yeah, in the end, we all just got to say hi to Cloth. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
It was a good performance, and we also appreciate intentional or not, you stopping for cloth.
Yeah, Nate. That C Peaks split, especially in that dark room. Like, how was that for you?
It was rough. Like the first one, I just overshot the little platform a little bit, and then like on the second one, I got to the very end, and I dashed off the wall.
Oh
into the
gosh,
spike,
yeah.
Right, and I'm like, okay. So I went and healed. I'm like, okay, well, if I die, I die, and I don't know, finally got it, and then I almost died in Crystallized Mountain trying to get up to D-Dark.
Yeah,
trying
that
to do
was
the pogo, yeah.
Yeah, that was
fun.
really tough, but also some impressive saves. And I'm hearing from chat as well that you're very anti-grubs.
Yeah, grubs. You. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he eats them anyway, right? That's what happens? Like, Grub Daddy, he eats them anyway? Like,
well,
so they can metamorphosize.
Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Can we just pretend like he eats
flies? Not in my book.
Oh, Mila is still alive. Thanks, Gus. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Cerpin, you are very pro grubs, yes?
Wow, Gus.
Yes. Imagine not saving every single grub you happen across though.
That is the spirit I align with.
Definitely, and I also very respect you, Cerpin, for saving the grub at Deep Nest when you were gathering Geo.
That was actually because I hoped I could go back up there for some Geo rocks.
Well, in the end, it gave chat a big boost of content. So, it's a joy for us. Oh, Nate, are you gonna go? You gonna go say hi to Mila?
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Yeah, and Dark Deep Nest as well. That dream nail through the wall. I learned that from Colette. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
that was very cool.
Yeah, I figured that's better than like dying. So.
Yeah, definitely. Dark Deep Nest can be tough sometimes. Ooh.
Yeah. Both of you guys had your dark room struggles, but in the end, like, also pushed through and really showed some mastery. So I know chat can agree that, like, y'all gave us a fantastic race today.
Definitely, and really clean movements from both of you on those parts. Nate, please don't harm Mila. No,
hey,
please.
She hit me first. I'm sorry.
Did she?
I had to defend.
She did not.
Chat.
She swung at me first. Okay. I had to defend myself.
She objectively did not. She swung in her back.
You walked into her domain. I mean, here's my thing with Mila. Personally, I just think that, like, you should just leave her be. She's doing her thing. You don't have to disturb her. Like, she's in her own box. Just let her do her thing.
Yeah,
and blame Gus. He reminded me.
Nate.
I think that we should just disqualify Nate for that.
Ooh.
That's it. Reported and banned.
Yeah, Nate, she's just trying to make you stay with her. If she breaks your vessel and your shade stays there, that means when your knight is venturing throughout Howling Wraiths, Mila gets a friend.
Is that how that works?
That's my headcanon, so.
Yes. But is there anything else you two would like to say about your runs or to the chat?
Well, I think I learned I should keep the stream up.
Oh, you weren't watching?
I weren't. I wanted to try that this time.
Yeah, I benched at Hornet 2 because I saw you die to Broken Vessel. So I benched at Hornet 2. It was like, because we were pretty close until then. I was like still anybody's like race. And then you died to Broken Vessel, so I took the camp bench.
I played like trash. I was like shaking. I couldn't do anything the first like... I was literally like shaking from nerves the entire first half hour.
Serp, it was very clean. You guys went into King Station about 110 apart, and you made up 35 seconds in C peaks.
Yeah, it was pretty close after peak.
Your C peak split was incredible, really. It was so clean.
And then Broken Vessel happened.
I lost like 8 seconds to my balance PB there and 10 to my gold, so it wasn't even that clean.
Well, it looked really
mate?
great to us.
Actual God cycle though. That's
Yes,
one
the
plus.
God Pixel was really good.
Yeah, I mean, overall, fantastic job to both runners. I enjoyed copying this race tremendously, and I'm sure that Virgil did as well. And, you know, we're going to be really excited to see more from you two going forward. And so if anybody else has concluding remarks, they're welcome to make them. But otherwise, yeah, we'll be seeing you down the road for round 3. Really great race, everybody.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
GG, sir.
GG's.
And thank you, Chad, for coming. You guys are really cute, and we appreciate you all.
Chat cute, runners cute, co-commentator cute. Thank you very much. We'll be back next time with more simplified Chinese lessons and knock-knock jokes. This has been a race with Herm and Virgil between Cerpin and Nater. And yeah, we wish you the best morning, afternoon, or evening.
Yep, have a great day, everybody.